Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Matt.
I'm Aunt Becky.
I'm Grandpa.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Tracy. I'm Megan.
And we're some of the Veggie boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. Welcome back, everyone. We've got another beautiful... It is the middle of April, right? What happened? It was like just warm. We're planting in the fields. This fresh blanket of snow sure does make everything look nice, I'll admit that. 80 degrees. Now it feels like spring. I just had to move to an artificial spring. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to see you. If it's not obvious, we got hit with a pretty good snowstorm last night. Fortunately, our daytime temperatures are going to be above freezing, so all the snow will melt. However, because we got a good amount of snow, it's gonna make things really sloppy, and we're hoping our drainage system works. I woke up and I thought it was springtime, and it turned out it was still winter.
Yeah, surprised me too, Andrew. You're getting like a little half a unibrow going right here, just so you know. You better clean that up.
Winters doesn't end till July 1st, and then it starts August 15th.
So right now we're working on getting the animals taken care of. Daniel is bringing down some silage, and then he's gonna get the cattle fed. I'll be honest with you, our chickens have been working really hard, and they've been producing a lot of eggs, which is good because farm market's been busy. Dad, can you throw the box down? Thank you. Now we're really happy our layers have been doing a nice job, but there's something I haven't showed you in a while, and it's the fact that we got peeps in. Now we got two types of chickens. We've got our meat chickens here, and then over here we've got layers. Now this is gonna be our next batch of laying hens. Now what's interesting is you can buy laying hens that are almost ready to lay. They're a little bit more expensive, but you don't have to raise them to that size. This specific breed of chicken, it takes 20 weeks from the time they hatch for them to start producing eggs. So in about 18 weeks, we should start seeing eggs. If anyone is curious, the variety of chicken that we raise is called red sex-lings. We just got all the animals taken care of, and now we're moving on into the greenhouses. Now, before we get started on the job that we had planned, I just wanted to bring you into greenhouse number 6 and show you how the cole crops have been growing. From what I can see, our plants in a few weeks are going to be ready to go out into the field. And we've also got our sale plants. In a few weeks, these will be ready to be sold as well. And some things are growing much faster than others. Like, look at this kale. This kale is ready to be sold now. If you worked in here all day, you'd never even known it snowed outside.
That's why we work in here.
Do you show the people this cabbage up here, this kale and stuff? How do you feel about working in the greenhouse?
It's April. We should be working outside. Why are we working in the greenhouse?
We've moved over to greenhouse number 4, and this is where we're gonna be working today. Something on the agenda is getting tomatoes transplanted. Now, all of these tomatoes are gonna be for sales. I'm gonna quickly read through some of the varieties that we have here. Jetstar, Big Beef, Beefsteak, Big Boy. We've got Celebrity, Better Boy, Mariana. We've also got some Mountain Fresh, Beefmaster. There's some Supersonic tomatoes, Goliath, Red Deuce, Rutgers, Sweet Million, Sweet Cherry. There's a lot of stuff that we're planting today. And in the same way, when we were getting all of our peppers ready for sale, one of the biggest things we're gonna have to do is try and keep track of everything. So basically, that's what we're gonna be working on today. And also, while we're here, look at our peppers. Wow. You know, soon, these are gonna be going out in the field. Before we can get started planting though, we need to have things to plant into, so we're gonna be getting our trays ready. Dad has already gotten started with transplanting. Now the first variety we're going to be working on is a plum tomato variety called Mariana. We just got a bunch of 806s filled. Now you guys remember we're going to be doing a few different pot types. We have got our singles, we have got our 6-packs, and now Dad and Daniel are going to be working on 6-inch pots. And a big job we're going to have all day, because we'll be filling a lot of trays, is just keeping this machine full. Spit it back out. Now that we got a few extra pots filled, I am back to transplanting. Now we mentioned that we were transplanting Mariana plum tomatoes. Now as a matter of fact, we actually plant these out in the field, and these are one of our favorite tomato varieties that we plant. Out of the 2 varieties we plant, Mariana and Plum Crimson, those are our favorite plum varieties. And the Mariana, they're a little thinner and longer tomato. Really good for sauce. Why are you getting so slow at transplanting?
Why?
Why are you getting so slow?
What do you mean?
Is it the old age? What am I talking about?
It's cold outside.
Job my whole life. You did 60 pints of beans? That's a lot of beans. Now, as we're finishing off our plum varieties, Matthew is going to have to keep track of everything, because I don't know how many we even got filled, but there was quite a few trays. So Matthew's gonna get everything tagged, and then he's gonna take it down and put it in line. Dad just whacked his head off a basket. We just got all of the plum tomatoes planted. You can see on our right-hand side here, we got a few trays, I think over 20 trays of plum tomatoes. And then the last time we transplanted tomatoes, these are how they look. They're getting some nice size to them. Now, before we get moving on to our next tomato variety, it is lunchtime, so we're gonna head up to the market and eat. It's cold out here. Whew. Alrighty, let's see what we're having for lunch. Woo! Sausage and peppers, looks good. We are finished with lunch now, and we're heading back down to greenhouse number 4. It got really windy out. I don't know why that is. I thought the storms had already rolled through. I know by the time next week is here, it's gonna be pretty warm. So I'm looking forward to that. Now the next variety of tomato we're gonna be moving on to is beefsteak. Now if you've never planted beefsteak tomatoes before, they are a nice round slicing tomato. They're an 80-day variety, and they're one of the favorites for the people in our area. Or the tree pollen's coming out, maybe it's an allergy. Yep, could be allergies. We'll go with the cold. Going outside without a sweatshirt on sure is cold. Now at this time, not only are we transplanting tomatoes, but Aunt Bonnie is working on petunias, and Aunt Rhonda is over there helping us with tomatoes as well. Never mind, I'm behind the times. Bonnie is now helping us with tomatoes. I apologize. I can't believe it. That's the first time I ever said anything wrong. Ah, I just need the, ow! This
beam, yep.
sharp metal beam right here. Oh, I'm moving up. Whose gummies are these? Get these gummies out of here. Now I'm complaining, my knee hurts. They're Bonnies. They're not Bonnies. And now we're back to transplanting, working on 806s of beefsteak. I hit my knee pretty hard.
That's why I work on the side of the leg.
That's why you work over there?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta learn. I'll tell you what it's like to work with family. I just hurt my knee here, and you know what every one of them said? Well, why'd you sit there? No one said, are you okay, Andrew? But I'll be okay. I'll just rub some butter on it or something. We just moved on to a new variety. We are doing big boy tomatoes. A lot of people know about big boy tomatoes, and where we live, they're very popular. So we're doing quite a few trays of these. A lot of the singles and a lot of the 806s. Now when it comes to tomatoes, we raise 4 different round varieties out in the field. We do Red Snapper, Primo Red, Red Deuce. What was the last one? Biltmore. Now out of those 4 tomato varieties, they are different day varieties. So that we can have ripe tomatoes for as long as possible. The 3 varieties we mostly raise, Red Deuce, Biltmore, and Primo Red. We've been raising those for the past few years, and we've really liked those tomatoes. Now the Red Snapper is something that we tried last year with our last planting of tomatoes, and we also like that. So we're incorporating it into our planting season this year. Now the thing is, when it comes to sales, we plant so many different varieties of tomatoes. I can't remember off the top of my head how many we do plant. Now over the years, we've planted many of those varieties that we sell for sales. So we're able to give people honest feedback on what we like about the tomatoes. Now sometimes the tomatoes that we sell, they do really good in the garden, but in the type of setting we have out in the field, they don't do the best. So the 4 varieties that we plant out in the field, that is what we've found works for us. Now you don't have to plant that in your garden. It can be a little different when you transition from the garden into the field. And those 4 varieties are what we like. But what's your favorite tomato variety? What do you like to plant? Is it an heirloom variety? Is it something else? Let me know down in the comments. All right, here, Bonnie, you can take this one. I had to go get some inserts and carriers for us to fill up. We have the girls working with us, so we go through trays really fast. Yeah, the boys can't keep up. I had her pulled down a little more than I wanted. Why did you just leave and abandon us for like 2 hours? Where did you go?
The neighbor was here. He wanted to talk.
The heater kicked on a minute ago, and now it's gonna be...
Just moved on to a new variety. The variety we're planting now is Red Deuce. Now there's a couple other farmers on YouTube that talk about Red Deuce quite often, and there's a good reason for that. It's a great tomato. And I don't know if it's because of that or just because it's such a great tomato, but it's really popular. So Dad and I, we're gonna be filling up a lot of trays of Red Deuce. Now what's neat about tomatoes is they kind of have like a special place to us. When my dad first started raising tomatoes, he actually started raising them for a cannery. And about how many tractor trailer loads of tomatoes would you pick by hand each week?
We would pick 2 a day.
So every day they would pick 2,600 baskets of tomatoes. So you could imagine working all day picking tomatoes. Now Dad just didn't do it by himself, he had family helping. But it still helps you to appreciate that tomatoes are kind of special to us. That is where we are going to stop today. We just finished off the Red Deuce tomatoes. We got a lot of tomatoes transplanted today. All along this right side, all the way to the back, and then we have all of these tomatoes that we transplanted right here as well. As the time gets closer to planting in the gardens, the customers are gonna become a lot more ready to start planting. So we need to get all of this stuff planted and taken care of. And we need to make sure we have it to a point where they can just pick it up, take it home, and plant it in their gardens. Since all that was left to do inside our greenhouse was water, Matthew and Aunt Rhonda are taking care of that. Now, if you remember, we were working on our drainage, and I just wanted to show you. It's working pretty well. Now, it is a little sloppy over here. However, I'm gonna bring you over to here. This is where it was always bad, right here. Now, we got 4 inches of snow, and it rained all day yesterday. And the only water we do have is a little low spot where we put our drain in. Normally, if we had all day rain and then 4 inches of snow, this whole area here would be just completely sloppy. However, with the conditions we have, we're really happy with the way that turned out. What's up, bud? How you doing? So we're gonna hope that it stays like that, and we'll have to fix a few things along the way, but once we do, we'll be golden. Come here. Oh, scratch, 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 scratch. Yeah, that's my boy. Megan, it's really snowing out there.
I know.
You haven't been done nothing but eat all day.
That is not true.
I literally, every time I see you, you're like, Look at Tracy's red boots. That is what we need in our lives. All of us need bright red boots like that. All right, Grammy, what are we having for dinner tonight?
Beef stew. Sorry.
What's going on in here? Let's go away. The only person we're waiting for right now is Uncle Daniel.
Oh, they match.
That's the only person. And Matthew, tell him what Callie just said. Callie said bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh my, she is now learning how to say bye-bye.
Right? I think that's confusing.
Since everybody is coming down to the dinner table, that means this is where we're gonna end the video. We would like to thank everyone for watching, and we hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.